we got another tasting. Tim's making us dinner, so I brought him 2 beers. The first one, what do we got here, Tim?
Devilishly delicious. Yeah, sweet shop biscotti and coffee stout with rye barrel aged coffee. So it's actually the coffee is barrel aged. Cool. 6% alcohol. Let's fucking hit it. I like to smell it first. Very much fucking biscotti.
It's got a nice coffee flavor to it
and
too,
it does.
Sure,
It's
right
actually, it's like
a coffee.
I was just gonna say it's literally if you like to fucking buy coffee like me sometimes and let it cool down, like that's just like a coffee.
Coffee flavor, but imagine having a coffee that has a little bit of carbonation in it, kind of.
Yeah, like it's very interesting.
It's a very coffee heavy.
Very coffee heavy.
Still got that kind of beer, like stouty flavor for sure, but it's definitely coffee strong.
Full on black coffee bitter finish.
Which makes sense because it is supposed to be a aged coffee.
Which is crazy in rye.
In barrels, in whiskey barrels. Or rye barrels.
Rye barrels.
Rye barrels. So that makes sense that it would have that kind of flavor.
Whoa, I like that. I really like that. So they call this the sweet shop. It's not that sweet, to be honest, guys, at all. Really, like you said it, it is definitely more like a coffee than a beer, but it's like, it's almost like a dry stout and coffee, right?
Totally.
And that's such a good mixture. Like, I really like this. So I'll read a little bit of what the can says. And by the way, devilishly delicious is an awesome little thing to have on the can. So this, I think, yeah, this is their second round of sweet shop dessert stout. I guess the second run in their series. I'm curious, I'll look up actually, maybe I'll throw in the description what their first number in their series was. But this one, the biscotti coffee stout. Another luxurious sweet shop is here to tickle your taste buds. Lush notes of honey, chocolate, and almond are greeted with a vibrant coffee and smooth finish. Notes of honey, almond, and coffee. The malt, pilsner chocolate, craw wheat, flaked oats, brown malt, honey malt, and black wheat. And it actually uses, like Kyle mentioned, barley, wheat, oats, and coffee. And not just coffee beans, coffee grounds. Coffee that was barrel aged in rye barrels. Only 6%. This is dangerously smooth. I don't know, man. I really like this one. It may not be a barrel aged. We're gonna crack this later. And I know SMOG City, we all agreed, is like, that was one of the best beers we've had. I imagine this one's gonna be just like that first one, but I'm super pumped with this.
These are like these kind of beverages too. It's the drinking experience, right? Like these are a nice happy hour bevy or after dinner. They're a lot more robust than a light beer. They're rich and they're filling, but they're definitely worth it. And if you haven't tried anything like this, barrel-aged stouts or any of these specialty craft dessert-like beers, like you gotta get in on that because they're unique.
So how much do you think this cost me, Tim? So I'll tell, because I'll probably title this video most expensive beer ever, but like I saw this and I'm like, okay, it's a Nickelbrook, not cheap. Actually, our first barrel age that we had on this channel was a Nickelbrook. I thought it was honestly gonna be $10.99 for a 4-pack, and then I grabbed one and I was like, this better be damn good. And honestly, I think is worth every Canadian fucking discontinued.
So for 355 milliliters.
So do the math. How much? How much
$10.99. Yeah. So
that's $1 per fucking.
That's pricey.
But again, I was telling Kyle before we even did this vlog here that like I don't drink these alone. Like I want. It's not about the buzz. It's not about any of that. It's about sharing the experience.
It's the experience, absolutely, right? And I mean, it's all completely speculative to like what you're comfortable to pay.
I love this.
And it's nice to have stuff like this that's that nice, where you can decide, hey, like if you only want to spend $3 or something, you can just buy any old can of whatever out of the cooler there. But when you want something really fine that you're not going to get that experience anywhere else, I mean, you got to pay for it, and rightfully so.
Think outside the tank, baby.
Like, if you wanted to wake up in the morning and start getting fucking liquored up, this would be like a great morning coffee substitute. So when you're on vacation next time, go and pick one of these up, and that's how you should start your day. Like, It's so hard to explain this kind of stuff to people that don't actually like drink stouts. But this one in particular, like some of the other ones that we've tried from SMOG City Brewing,
Well, like this barrel age we're gonna have later tonight.
they're in some ways a little bit thicker. Like this, you can't tell the viscosity of it just by looking at it, but you can tell in your palate the different textures of each one of these things. Some of them are a little bit thicker, a little bit creamier. This one literally tastes like a coffee that's been barrel aged with a little bit of carbonation in it. That's the best way I can explain this.
So they actually listed the coffee company on the can. I want to almost talk to them or reach out to them and be like, where can I try this coffee?
Yeah.
You know? So it's in it's in Burlington. So Good Morrow Coffee is the brand.
Good Morrow Coffee. Well, shout out to Good Morrow Coffee. Thank you for having fucking wicked coffee for this brewski that we're tasting today. And you guys, if you can get your hands on it, it's worth a try. Again, dessert coffee or a dessert beer.
I guess dessert coffee too.
Dessert coffee beer. It's a mixture of everything. So go out and try it. I mean, we would definitely recommend that you test out a few barrel aged. And if you're a whiskey drinker or a beer drinker, it's the best of both worlds. And as Isha said, we don't drink it to get hammered. If we want to do that, we'll go and get a 15 or a Lucky or something, right? This is more for the experience and tasting. We like to enjoy our whiskeys. We like to enjoy our barrel-aged stouts. And honestly, I wouldn't have known about these if it wasn't for Ish. And Ish probably wouldn't have known about these if it wasn't for his Minnesota buddies. So cheers to you guys.
All right, so first beer down. We're gonna take a quick dinner break, and then we'll be back to end off the night with SMOG City, which again, shout out to SMOG City. We had 2 barrel-aged beers from them last time. The first one was one of the best collectively we've ever had. We won't really give an official ranking to this one because it was kind of unique. It wasn't a barrel-aged beer, but we'll give a ranking to the SMOG City one, and we'll see how it compares with the rest in a moment. We're watching spider videos, by the way. I know you folks just watched that last spider vlog.
So I don't know if you guys remember how Rockstar can opener went last time. We're gonna try not to do that again this time. So here we go. Yeah, baby. Better. Way better. So this one is SMOG City. So anyway, I'll read you out the label. It says Ticking Clock. Ticking Clock is a retro-fitted, palate-tickling, bourbon barrel-aged elixir, rewarding you with layers of complexity that blissfully linger on. A strong coconut presence up front with layers of coffee and chocolate are followed by a hint of bourbon. Delicate oak and a finish of dark cocoa and coconut creaminess leaves you craving more. So, again, that sounds fucking awesome, and we're gonna have some right now.
Well, I'm pumped because the last SMOG City one we had, both of them were incredible. But that first one, Tim like literally drove right back to the liquor store to grab another one.
It was awesome, and it left me hanging over, which is really fucked up because no joke, if you guys want to know what happened, we had about this much each. Okay, so like between 2 bottles, we split it out so each of us had like essentially almost a can of beer. And I was fucking hungover the next day. Mind you, those were like 15 and 20% or something.
Andy's a fucking lightweight anyway.
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
This one's only coming in at, what'd you say, 8.7? 8.7? Let's get after it. Oh yeah.
A little tang, a little like coffee with a nice creamer to it, you know?
That's good.
Like, yeah, that's like creamy coffee goodness.
I honestly barely taste the coconut at all, which I'm okay with. I'm not the biggest fan of coconut. I don't not like it, but you can smell it more than you can taste it, I think. That is...
I really like this one.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Kyle to try it. This is fucking amazing. This brewery, I'm telling you, we titled the last video "Best Beer on the Planet." This one might top it, to be perfectly honest.
It's very robust too. Like it's, I don't know how to explain it other than like that's manly.
It's thick,
right? Yeah, like that's
smooth on the way down. A little bit of tang to it.
Yeah, and I like that tang. Like you'd think you'd like the sweet, and I like sweet, but that bit of tang is like
It's rich. Not to say that it's particularly heavy, but you can see it is. But that is something. Kyle, give me the camera. You gotta try this shit.
Here we go. I can see what you guys are talking about with a little bit of tanginess. This is very chocolatey, very chocolate. Like, I don't think I've had a chocolatier beer than this beer. And actually, it finishes up pretty nicely. Like, okay, so one of the last SMOG Brewing ones that we had, I know you can't take me seriously because I'm wearing my hat, but this is what happens when you drink these beers. Like, one of the ones that we had, I think it was the red label one, can't remember what the hell that one's called. The first one that we did. So if you watch one of our previous videos, if you're subscribed, you can watch that. So that one really lingered and transformed. It just took a different shape from the second that you took it in. You got like kind of a crispy thing to like this like really nice strong flavor, and then it mellowed out into something completely different. This one kind of does that, but mainly chocolatey.
And not as much alcohol.
No.
Right?
And he can tell that all from that one tiny little sip that he had.
No, we didn't say chocolate, and I think that's a good point.
I would say like, so like I too cannot taste the coconut.
Can you smell it though? Like you know when you like smell coconut flakes and you're kind of like there's that little almost
dude,
oily smell to it.
I smell fucking chocolate. That's
smells chocolate?
all it is, man.
I got the coconut for sure.
I get barrel.
So it definitely has that as well. Like as soon as you take a sip, you know that it's a barrel aged. But I mean, like they're talking about like fucking coconut in here, layers of coffee, maybe, chocolate, definitely. A hint of bourbon, I would agree with. Delicate oak. I get a little bit of the barrel smell out of it, and a finish of dark cocoa. Well, yes, it's fucking chocolate, man. So good. So if you ever get a chance, SMOG Brewing, see if they're at your local liquor store. These are hard to find for us. We have one liquor store that we know of right now.
And they only carry 3 plus one special one that's gonna go out any day.
Yeah, anyway, you guys should try this.
Another thing too, just to point out, is this stuff, you know, we're drinking this at room temperature. We're not keeping
chilled
this on ice or anything.
No, we're doing it like we would right out of the barrel.
Yeah, this is barrel aged stuff, and it's the temperature that our living room is here, right? So that's how you drink this stuff.
And you might think that that's weird, because typically warm beer tastes like piss. Not this stuff though. This is how it's meant to happen, and I highly recommend it if you're a fan of dark beers and whiskeys, bourbons,
and don't get me wrong, love a cold, crisp beer. That's usually my go-to. But for these, or as some would call them, cellar ales and stouts and stuff like that, they'd call them the cellar ales because they would just be, they wouldn't be refrigerated. They'd be just the temperature of the cooler room in the house, if you will.
All right, man. So we've had a few barrel aged now, enough that we know kind of what we're looking for, what we like in a barrel aged beer. So we're gonna start rating them now in every video. What do you rate this one out of 10?
Well, I would say flavor-wise, this is a strong flavor. To me, very much of chocolate. So it's very dessert-like. I would probably give this like an 8 for flavor. Really good. But yeah, overall, dude, this would probably get an 8 for me.
Nice.
It's solid. Good flavor, has a nice lingering aftertaste. It's smooth, kind of creamy, a little bit heavy, but it's good.
Oh man, I love this so much. I loved how Kyle like explained his rating too. Shout out to the Brews and Bruins podcast, some friends of mine, how they rate beers. It just came to mind right now. They rate them out of 10 on drinkability and tasteability. How easy it is to drink and how great it tastes. So I'll say drinkability, it's never easy with a barrel age. We love them, so it's kind of an anomaly, but like the first time you drink a barrel age, it's not gonna be a walk in the park. So I'll say for this one, just because how amazing it is, I'll give it a 7 in the drinkability and tasteability. Kyle, I'm giving it, honestly, I'm giving it a 9. So I give it an 8 out of 10 total too. This is very, very good. And honestly, again, we titled our last beer tasting video, Best Beer on the Planet, SMOG City. Guys, you are outdoing yourselves. Everybody, if you can and you want to get crazy with beers or just try something different that is really, really good and probably the best way to get into this particular type of beer, SMOG City, you fucking outdone yourself. If you like this video, if you like our beer ratings, please let us know in the comments below. Let us know if you want us to rate any other alcohol outside of beer, outside of whiskey. I mean, we're game, and cheers, fellas. Thank you very much.